Hello, and first want to wish you all a happy new year. We're getting started here in 2019, and with the new year, we have quite a few changes we're making. We partnered up with some other investors, and we're making some revisions to our current process, and that includes our script. And I wanted to go over in this video with you the changes we made to the script. Very important, extremely important that we pay close attention to this. We tried to simplify this as much as possible, and it's going to be very important that you're very clear, on how this script is supposed to go. So I'm going to go through it in its entirety, and in our next meeting, we will go through it again, and we're going to have some several practice scenarios utilizing the new script. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be Joseph, which I am Joseph, and the seller's first name will be Jane. And I will go through the script with those names. Okay, so number one. So, hi, this is Joseph. I'm looking for Jane. Now, as trivial as that sounded there, we want to make sure that we say it in that manner. You don't want to say it in a question format, which is very important. So you don't want to say, hi, this is Joseph. I'm looking for Jane, or, hi, this is Joseph. I'd like to speak with Jane. If you that's called asking the question on an upswing. You actually want to ask it on a downswing, so you're not really asking a question. You're being a little bit more authoritative, and you also want to just use the seller's first name. So again, hi, this is Joseph. I'm looking for Jane. Or hi, this is Joseph. I'd like to speak with Jane. If you don't have the seller's name, you can say, hi, this is Joseph. I'm looking for the owner of 123 Main Street. Okay? All right. If the seller asks, how did you get my number? You say, now this is going to be similar to the previous script. So you'll say, I'm with a local real estate investment company, and we found your number from an online database. If they ask which database, you say, it's a real estate database that my company accesses to find homeowners who may consider selling their property. So that part hasn't changed. So that's the same. Okay, so number two, Jane. I know this may be completely unexpected, but I'm with First Texas Home Buyers in Houston, Texas, and I was calling about your property at 123 Main Street. So that's another addition that we made to the script. Again, the idea is not to be too intrusive or too aggressive. You almost want to be coy in a way, so that the seller is not defensive and thinking that you're some telemarketer and they're going to be ready to hang the phone up, or they're not going to be receptive to you. So again, too, Jane, I know this may be completely unexpected, but I'm with First Texas Home Buyers in Houston, Texas, and I was calling about your property at 123 Main Street. Okay, then you want to wait for the caller to respond. So the caller may say yes or okay. Then you say, would you consider an offer on your property? Okay. If the seller is not interested, okay, meaning, they're like, no, don't think I want to sell right now, or I don't have an interest in selling. Then you say, okay, if you aren't interested in selling this property, do you have any other properties that you might be interested in selling? Okay, and again, that hasn't changed much from the previous script. If they still say no, or they don't have an interest, then you say, okay, no problem. Thanks for your time. If you do have an interest in the future, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at, and then that number, 713-497-1597. Thank you. And the other change we'll make, I'll just mention in this video, is we won't be calling from this number. We're going to have a different number that we'll be using to call from. So there'll be a different number on their caller ID. So So we'll go through that in the meeting. Okay. All right. So that's if the seller has no interest at all. So you go through this. If the seller, when you ask the seller, okay, okay, if you are interested in selling this property, do you have any other properties that you might be interested in selling? Then, if the seller has another property that they're actually interested in selling, what you want to do is you want to get the property address, and then you're going to go to 2B right here. So it'll be the same as if the seller had an interest. Okay. So if the seller is interested in selling, or if they have another property they're interested in selling, then you're going to say, okay, great. Just to let you know, we buy properties in as-is condition, so you don't have to do any cleanup or make repairs. We buy properties like yours all the time. We can close quickly and pay all closing costs and fees. You also don't have to pay any commissions. So considering all of that, what's the least you would consider for your property? So that's another addition we made to this revised script. Okay. If the seller gives a price or asks, how much do you want for my property? Okay, so if the seller says, okay, the lease I'll take is $300,000. Okay, or if they say, well, I don't know how much, how much I want, how much you want, how much you guys willing to buy my property for? I don't know. Okay, then you say, okay, well, thanks for that. I would like to get some basic information first on the property. Can we do that before moving forward? Okay, and then that's another addition we put in there, okay? So if they give you a price, or if they ask you, how much do you want to buy for? Or how much do you want for my property? Okay, then you say, okay, thanks for that. I would like to get some basic information on the property. Can we do that before moving forward? Okay, and then you're going to go through questions 3 through 6, okay? Now, if the seller doesn't want to go through any questions, okay, then if they, say, oh no, I don't have time for that, or no, can you, hey, just tell me, hey, what do you, how much will you buy it for? If they refuse to go through any questions, then you're going to go below here to where, see these 3 stars or 3 asterisks? If they refuse to go through questions 3 through 6, you're going to go to the bottom here to where 3 asterisks. You're going to say, before we can give you a fair offer, I would like to pass this information on to our property consultants. They will review it and touch base with you over the next 24 to 48 hours. Jane, is this your best contact number? Also, can you give me your best email? And then you're going to wait for the caller or the seller to respond. Okay? You say, okay, great, thank you. We will be in touch with you shortly. Thanks again. And then this is when you're going to put this seller in as a follow-up into Podio, and you're going to email the property consultants. And we have information here on the script regarding emailing property consultants, and I'll just read it here. So anytime information needs to be sent to the property consultants, you're going to send the email to this address, info@firsttxhomebuyers.com, and that's just so that we are notified of the situation and we can get back with sellers within 1 to 2 days. And again, also you want to make sure that these sellers' information is entered into Podio for follow-up purposes. So, so that's what needs to happen. So again, let me just review this again. So if you come in here, right here, if they give a price or if they ask how much do you want, then you ask them to go through the questions. I need to get some, basic information. If they refuse to do that, then you go to the 3 asterisks or 3 stars and you go through this. You make sure their information is entered into Podio, and then you email the property consultants with the information. Okay, and you can just email and say, hey, I entered in Jane Doe into Podio. She has an interest in selling possibly. She gave us a number, but she didn't want to go through questions. Just something to that effect. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to the script here. So, okay, so now if you say, okay, thanks for that, I would like to get some basic information first on the property. Can we do that before moving forward? And if they are fine with going through the questions, that tells me right there that this caller or seller is probably motivated, okay? So this is probably somebody that we're going to want to book an appointment for, okay? So this is somebody who wants to go through the questions. They're at least willing to answer questions that you're going to ask. So that means they probably have some motivation, okay? But before we book the appointment, we want to go through the questions. So the first one, and this, we made some changes here also. So 3, is the property currently occupied or vacant? That's very important to know, okay? 4, are there any major repairs needed on the property? Okay, if it needs repairs, then you want to ask, can you estimate what the repair cost would be? Now, if the seller can't get an estimate or they don't know, then you just go to the next question, okay? All right, your property seems like it could work for us. May I ask why you would consider selling it? Now, this is probably the most important question of the entire script, number 5. The reason why is because this will tell us how motivated this seller is, okay? All right, because if this seller is motivated, then we know we are more than likely we're going to be getting an appointment with the seller, and there's a good chance that we can close this deal, okay? And we may be able to get the home under contract for a very good price. So this is probably the most important question. This is the most important element of the entire script. Okay, so, and here you see you want to listen for motivation here. Don't talk, just listen to the seller talk. The more you're quiet, the more you're listening, the more they're going to talk. They may tell you, oh, I'm going through divorce, and I need to sell the house ASAP, because I need the money, or I just got a job. I'm moving to Utah, and I can't have 2 mortgages. I need to sell this house immediately. And what I'm going to do is you want to have your key motivation triggers sheet up. When you're doing your calls, you want to keep this sheet up. If you don't keep it up, at least know exactly what a motivated seller is. This is very important, okay? So I'm going to go through it very briefly here. So again, you're looking for financial distress, physical distress, circumstantial distress. So you see here, financial distress, foreclosure, bankruptcy, loss of job, property tax problems, back property taxes, judgments, child support, okay? Or they just need cash badly. Physical distress, the property's boarded up, they got code violations, fire damage, it's trashed, abandoned, vacant. Circumstantial, divorce, the seller's in jail, they've been transferred, the house is vacant. They're older, the elderly, they're inheriting a property, they're going through probate, they want to downsize, or there's a death, or they think it's a bad investment. So that's very important triggers, okay, that we need to look for. You really need to listen for any of those things when you ask this question here. Very important. Okay, next question. If we choose to buy the property, will we have to pay off any taxes, liens, or mortgages? Now, we rephrased this. In the last script we had, do you owe anything on the mortgage? Now, that is a very, very direct way to ask this same question. So, again, you don't want to be too direct with some of these questions. You want to kind of pull back a little bit and let the seller feel comfortable in answering certain questions. So instead of saying, do you have a mortgage, or what do you owe on your mortgage? You say, if we choose to buy the property, will we have to pay off any taxes, liens, or mortgages? Okay, so that's very important there. Okay. So again, if seller is motivated to sell based on the motivation trigger sheet that we just went over here in question 5, then we want to book an appointment with them. So see book appointment. So that's here. We put that on here also, book appointments. So you want to log into Podio. You want to click on project management, click appointments tab, click add appointment at top right, and then you're just going to fill in the information all the way to where it says who set the appointment. So it's either going to be